How are we sounding, Charlie?
You sound
Gayer than ever.
Are you all rolling? Yes.
We're on.
Hello and welcome back to the first episode of 2025 with my co-host Andrew Kerwin and producer Charlie. Producer Charlie, who has just come from a New Year's Day party.
The day before.
The day before.
So this is the second.
It feels like I've just come out.
So you
Yeah.
did New Year's Eve and New Year's Day?
A crumpled shell of a man.
I am.
His
I am
hat is
Michelle.
very low down on his face, hiding the shame.
Yeah, we went to. Well, I went
Just for context, he's chewing on a piece of nicotine gum like his life is depending on it.
It's the only thing holding him together at the moment.
I can see half of his face and his mouth is just gurning away with that
You
gum.
know what? You can probably hear it. You can probably
You can.
hear
Don't cheer into the mic,
You can probably
Charlie.
hear our producer.
Don't cheer into the mic.
I'm getting stronger by the second.
Yeah.
Well, what's
Basically-
annoyed me actually is the way that the fans are really warming to Charlie, and there was a little moment where some people were like, "Right, this guy needs to shut up.
This guy
now."
needs to get
And
off.
that was when I was like defensive. I was like, I feel bad. I don't want Charlie. He's put so much work in this. I don't want him to feel like he's not part of the podcast.
Ostracized.
Don't want it to be too popular,
Yeah,
right?
but then it came. I was deleting hate comments for Charlie. I was like, I don't want to hurt his feelings. And then last episode, they're like, well, we don't even need
Need these
Kerwin,
guys are
I don't remember
pointless.
time before Charlie. This
Yeah.
is basically just the Charlie podcast. This is
Please,
absolutely unbelievable.
stop chewing into the mic or I'm going to die.
I'll mute
I can
myself.
hear it from here. They're going to go fucking nuts at home if you do that. So what happened, Charlie? Tell
So
us.
it started pretty civil. I had like a load of fruit and fish for breakfast, loads of mango. If I like, you know the sort of fruit that they feed monkeys in the zoo.
No, but
It
go
looks
on.
very ugly looking.
We don't need to go into that.
like
Dragon fruit.
no, just like it looks very kind of rough
Just
and ready. The
a
fruit that they
giraffe.
give.
The dregs.
No, like just like bit mouldy apples and like
Right,
muddy
not
mangoes.
top shelf fruit.
Yeah.
No, just like pretty.
You keep
ratchet
saying
looking
no
fruit.
to reasonable
Yeah.
suggestions.
Yeah.
Go on.
So I ate a
I
load of
thought I
that.
was hitting the nail on the head
I
there.
think
I was
you were.
trying to help as well. I was like, no, not
not
that.
that.
More
Not
like
that.
shit. So ratchet
No.
is what it was.
Ratchet
that.
fruit, yeah.
Nah, not that.
So not top shelf. That's nonsense, Andrew.
not that.
More ratchet?
yeah.
I don't have to say the exact word you're thinking
You're
of.
being a bit petulant today.
Yeah,
as well. It's
stop
like
chewing the gum.
I'm in a bad way.
He's still chewing the gum, mouthing off.
It's literally like a teenage boy.
Yeah, he's a grumpy, hungover teenage boy. He's gone out on Christmas Eve and it's Christmas Day now. That's what it is.
So 2025, you excited? It's going to be the best year ever?
I am excited. I
Yeah.
feel like I know what I want to do. My main New Year's resolution
Go on.
is
Whoa.
to stop being a pig in terms of what I put into my body. Like, and that
So
applies
eat
to
better.
no, eat less.
No,
Of course not.
No.
Of course not. What else
Not
would
that
it
at
be? Is
all.
it drink better?
Eat less, smoke less. It's just everything I do is just like I'm an absolute hog. I like just all the
What's your
all the
diet
tobacco.
like?
I eat a lot of kind of important like
Oh,
cucumber.
you eat ratchet fruit. So.
I eat ratchet, yeah, but that's still fruit.
Yeah.
I don't eat like constant chips,
But
but
monkeys.
I do
Yeah.
feel that I need to basically just eat less and be a bit more controlled in terms of what I put in my body.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
not
good.
bad.
That's a good one.
Which is,
I
and
mean,
I've started that terribly given what's just
but I
happened
feel
to me
like
last
there's
night.
generic New Year's resolutions, which I can't imagine anyone doesn't have. Eat better, exercise more, read more.
Yeah.
Isn't that just like a...
Those ones
Does
don't
anyone
really,
like
those,
need
those
to
don't
read?
count.
Yeah,
I
'cause
think that's-
I've got those every year.
Yeah.
And then I have 2 months where they're all on top and then they just slowly fade away.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
last
in
year,
time for me to reset them as my resolutions.
last year I
Exactly.
set some unrealistic goals like meditate every day,
Yeah.
exercise 3 times a week, and I think putting like numbers on it. If I can just be like, don't be such a fucking hog.
Yeah.
I think I can do
Like
that.
the general...
A general one where it's more of
Yeah.
a kind of an attitude than a resolution.
yeah. Okay.
That's kind of what I'm going for.
Avoid the sty.
Yeah, well, January is...
slopping around in
we're in
mud.
the Monday of the year. If the year is a week,
Yeah.
this is
Very
this is
poetic, I suppose. It's just
this
got a
is-
basic math.
This is a month-long Monday. That's what
Yeah.
I feel.
Well, that's a pretty bleak start to the year, isn't
It
it?
is.
Really, but
January
Monday
is
can be empowering.
It can be
if you
empowering.
have kind of reset Sunday, then Monday can be like a good thing. You know,
Yeah.
If you have a chill weekend, everyone loves a Monday. It's just because if you're busy on the
Just
weekend,
everyone chill weekend, love Monday.
it depends. If you hate your job, then you're never
that's-
gonna love Monday.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the truth. But if
Yeah.
you don't mind your job and you just need to put more effort in, then if you have a detox weekend, bam, let's go.
No, January for me, I think January it's a level of quiet meditation, discipline, and just really more of a monk-like existence.
Yeah. Have you done your self-reflection then?
Yeah.
Because I don't think I have. You can't really self-reflect over Christmas and New Year's.
No.
You're seeing too many people. There's too many things to do.
And I was, you were quite Scroogey, and I was going in with a very positive mindset to Christmas. But yeah, I do think there's some systemic flaws.
There's some negatives to Christmas.
Yeah. Well, I just think that structurally we need a reformer. We need a disruptor to come in and change some.
How would you reform Christmas?
Well, obviously the distance between Christmas Day and New Year's Eve is too much.
Yeah.
That's too long. And it's always been too long.
But are you including that in Christmas? You know what I mean?
That is Christmas.
Yeah, but I don't know.
That's the whole period. Christmas Day should be on the 29th.
Generally, I'm out by the 27th, and that's Christmas over.
But still, what are you getting done in between?
I'm not getting anything done, but that's the time to relax before New Year's Eve. And then you hit the ground.
Too much time to relax. Can we not take a couple of those days and sprinkle them throughout the year?
Well, Americans do Thanksgiving, don't they?
Yeah.
That's pretty close to Christmas.
It's November. So
not that close to Christmas. Yeah. All right.
But I just think that the little bit between Christmas Day and New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I know you have to take holiday off, but they all do. Instead, let's all agree to take 3 of those days out and then give a bank holiday sporadically throughout the year.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think I
just don't need this much time. I'd rather spread it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, spread the joy, because if you concentrate joy, it quickly turns to misery.
This is such a boys gone wild. Yeah. All of our life lessons are about lower
expectations, spread out the joy, otherwise it turns to misery.
Prepared for things to go wrong. That is like the prevailing philosophy.
Well, you didn't do it. You were too happy about Christmas.
And I got punished for it.
You did.
And one mistake I make every year, which I did this year fully, is I always wind down for Christmas ridiculously early. If I'm like a plane coming to land, I'm in the seat. Like I'm pulling up before the runway.
Right.
It's like the 10th of December. I'm like, well, it's basically Christmas.
Yeah.
So I've already taken, I guess part of the reason why it hits so much more is that I've basically already taken 2 weeks off by the time I hit Christmas.
Yeah.
And then you have in all of these days.
So are you bored?
I'm just restless. I need,
you need something to do.
I need to be on my hustle grind set. I need to be, even taking a week off the pod. I need to be connecting with the people. I need to be spreading the word of the gospel. It's a weird period over Christmas when there's no young children, because there's you have a lot
vicarious.
My sister's probably gonna have a kid soon, and then the cycle restart.
Yeah,
but it does mean you can
dress up as Santa.
Yeah, well, it's just even having one kid there.
Yeah, it remains
even
the joy.
If there's 20 adults and one child, just the innocence of that child will carry the whole thing. But for like a 10-year period, often it's just like a load of adults hanging around. It's like, this is a bit silly.
Yeah. So it's a get together with no purpose.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. No, I think the cluster thing is the issue, really. Films are one of the most important tactics to use over Christmas. One my family does not do very well. We're not a film family. I'm the only one who's into films.
They're like musical theatre.
They're musical theatre, so we have to go out to the theatre. They don't seem to understand that you can now get that within your television.
On demand.
On demand, no less. I think we'll put a football game on or something, but you need something to stop talking to people for a bit, because with the cluster as well, mine's Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, the next Boxing Day, and one more. Yeah. It's dawn till dusk, small talk and conversation.
And and then you're off.
And then I'm out. And then I'm out. It's, you're clinging on for dear life a lot of the time. Yeah. You need the break in the days and the break within the days.
Yeah, I found this period, to be honest, we do Christmas pretty well. It's just this time it felt, it's the older you get, the more, and then going back and regressing, it does feel like, you do just feel like a child again.
Immediately.
Because I'm in my childhood, I don't even fit in my childhood bed. Yeah. So I'm spending 6 nights there. Literally feel like, I'm like, why do I feel like a child? It's maybe because I'm,
It is regression.
Racing car
just
sheets.
a bit angrier. I'm always just a bit angrier.
Churlish.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's an anger that comes out, and then you feel ashamed for the anger.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It feeds itself.
It's the Christmas cycle.
Yeah.
But hey, New Year's Eve?
Yeah, well, New Year's Eve, we had a black tie event. We went, it was kind of like, I don't rate New Year's Eve very highly, so I'm kind of quite open. It's not something I hold very sacred.
Whereas I'm more of a New Year's Eve positive man.
You live for New Year's Eve, would you say?
I count down the days. My New Year's resolution is to enjoy 2025 New Year's Eve even more than I did this one. Yeah. No, I like it.
That's probably the biggest red flag in a person if their favourite night of the year is New Year's Eve.
But it is. And it's not my favourite night. But no, I went through the whole, this is overrated. I never actually have that much of a good time to, just go out and have fun, just enjoy yourself. And it is fun. I don't hype it up too much.
No.
I'm like, there's going to be some issues, but at the end of the day, it's still a night out with pals, so that's going to be fun.
So Andrew's girlfriend's friend was having this kind of quite fancy New Year's Eve do with like black tie, and we didn't really know anyone there, but I was just like, yeah, fuck it. I mean,
Let's do
I kind of just like something a bit different. I don't,
Yeah.
And it was fun. I think we were more fucked up than people weren't that fucked up.
No,
though.
they were. You're
Okay.
having the panic. Everyone was. We were particularly.
I think we were. I remember just thinking,
had
are you
some-
guys on the same shit as me? Because I'm fucked.
Yeah. We had a lot of the magic potion. But no, everyone was.
Yeah.
If you think about the room towards the end and how many people were there and the general ethos.
Go on.
Was it kind of like sordid and
No, it was a demure
Black
affair.
tie does a lot to help that because immediately everyone looks a bit better.
They felt like it was more of a regular occurrence.
Yeah.
I think to them it just felt like a Tuesday.
Maybe a Friday.
Like my friend Cowley, friend of the pod.
it looks like Luigi?
Yeah, who looks like Luigi.
Yeah.
He, I asked him how New Year's Eve was once because we'd done New Year's Eve together. I was like, "Did you have a good night last night?" He's like, "Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it every night." What do you mean? I just love the idea of just like New Year's Eve. Imagine that every night.
Such an odd reflection to
but
have.
he's not saying that as a joke. He's genuinely saying that like you would about
Wouldn't want to do it every night. Yeah.
having a roast dinner. Wouldn't want to have it. Yeah, but imagine New Year's Eve every night.
Every night.
That is one of the worst existences.
What do you think would happen?
Counting down.
That's what
10,
Charlie's on day. Charlie's on day 3. Do you want to go find a day party again?
I would
you
cry if I had to
menace?
do one more of them. I'd be weeping.
Yeah.
all week.
But no, it was fun and it was good. Yeah. There's a weather warning.
Go on.
And we're now also, as much as we cover minimizing expectations, we also cover weather warnings. It's due to snow in many parts across the UK.
How are you feeling about the weather warning?
I'm feeling like a normal person feels about the weather warning, which not that concerned, but also aware that some bad things can happen. So I'll pass this over to our weather skeptic, Horatio Gould, who doesn't believe it actually.
I guess this is like weirdly right wing of me for some reason. I don't know why, but just like doubting the weather warning.
It's very Reddit conspiracy theorist. What does the snow even bloody do?
It feels like modern wokery to me. That I just feel that they're too ready to play their hand. With
So let's
weather
read the
warnings.
headline. It's rise in UK deaths expected due to snow and ice
Well,
weather
let's
warnings.
see those numbers.
This not
They're
happened
never
yet.
big numbers.
We went through the numbers last time. That like 5, 3.
It was one.
2. It was 2.
No, it
Two?
wasn't two.
No, it was definitely
It
2.
was more than
You
one.
don't know what you're talking about.
It was 2 and many
No,
more
we looked
injured.
it up and it was
many
one.
more injured.
Yeah,
Look it up.
A man fell over.
Yeah, it's all old people. If old people fall
they
over,
fall over
they don't
anyway.
care.
And it's just because it's windy. You're like, oh, it's because of the storm. No, it's because you're 90, lad.
No, which is
2 men dead.
2 men.
And to be fair,
died.
one of them was a rugby player.
So
And my granny has been moved out of her house.
Is
What's
she
she
still
doing
out?
now?
She's in another home, but she
Yeah,
doesn't.
brilliant. She's
Brilliant?
loving it. She's loving it.
It's not ideal,
She
is
can't
it?
believe her lot.
It's not the highest death toll, obviously. We're not looking at... Charlie zoomed in on 2 men dead, so it's massive on the screen. Look,
I guess it's because you get
it's not
notifications
startling.
of...
Because the weather affects everyone.
Yeah, no, I guess you get notifications across the world, and it's just like... I guess it always feels
But
like...
look, we wouldn't get... It would be boring and irrelevant news if we got like... There's snow to come in Italy.
Yeah.
A couple of people might die.
Yeah.
We like... Obviously that's different. But because we're in the UK, one, the weather will affect us as well.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the worst... Because also the warning is... It comes early, so the older people will stay inside and make sure they're set up for the weather.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not like panic. Everyone's going to die.
I think it's just the red warning, gonna be windy.
The notification again. Someone does need to overhaul the notification system.
You know that the person who's running that weather warning, there's just a, I don't know, there's just a very like, I think the atmosphere around that office is very it's very HR. You know, no one can say what they think. I think there's a real taskmaster running it.
You're a weather truther.
Oh, I just think the culture of the weather warnings, I think there's just like, for too long, someone at the top has been getting away with this and no one's been able to speak up.
So what do you want
Oh,
to...
so you think it's all right if people die? No. If a man
You just
falls over in Carlisle, it's not the end of the world.
But he died. He died
didn't.
by falling
That one
over.
didn't.
That one... And he's not making the news. He's not making the news. That's unfair. If a man falls over in Carlisle, that's not getting on. People dying, yeah, fine. Look, 2 people dying?
Yeah.
Is that is that people die all the time, obviously. People die from murder way more than is reported, right? So there is a variance of it. But the weather is something that affects all of us, I think.
Yeah.
And it's a don't go outside if you fall over, you might die.
Yeah.
That's a fair thing.
Yeah.
Do you think it's too severe then? As in
I mean, admittedly, I'm not.
Death's expected
I'm not
because
at the
of snow,
front
it's fine.
lines, but they often cut to the front lines, like the West Coast.
You also
and
look
it's
out your-
always just like a lamppost go.
When you say you're not out the front lines, you look out your window and
I'm
don't see
outside.
torrential rain and people dying on the street and think they've over-egged it.
Well, let's see about this snow and ice.
Can we look
Right.
where? Let's go into the article.
Let's see.
They
And to be
asked me to
fair,
head up.
if loads of people die, I'll eat humble
How
pie.
many? How many?
How many do I want to die?
And then you have to eat a whole pie on this podcast during the
And
during the
we
podcast.
call it humble pie.
Yeah. How many? Can I? Right, let's
Do you
suggest a number.
want to pitch a number?
Yeah, I'm gonna say 10.
If 10 people die from the ice,
You'll
I'll
eat humble pie.
I'll eat humble pie.
That's on camera. That's on camera. Come on! I've never willed deaths more in my life. Just seeing Horatio struggle for a blueberry pie. on the
Imagine
podcast.
if it was all 10 members of my family.
And then you've got to eat the pie. I'd still make you do it. Because why? How have your family? That's because your family don't listen to weather alerts, so they're all fucking wandering about.
they do. It's
They
just,
do, yeah.
It's just me. I don't want to besmirch their names.
They're
They
expecting a
tend to-
rise in death from cold weather. Now, cold weather can fuck you more.
Yeah, but then are
winds
we
and
getting it
storms.
cold?
No, people die
People
from
die in their
fucking...
cars. People like
Yeah,
freeze
old
their
people.
cars.
Old people, and people die in their cars. Yeah, that's happened. Actually,
This
has it?
country's in the fucking bin.
Yeah.
Do you think that?
Get out of your car. Go inside. There's weather warnings. Oh, I'll get out of my car.
Do you think dying in a UK flood, you would feel that it wasn't a worthy? If
Yeah.
Is it slightly embarrassing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
like, in the moment
sorry.
of death?
If you're below,
If you're a child, no, that's horrifying.
if you're below 13,
It's the worst thing ever when a kid drowns in a flood. Awful. Above the age of 40,
Powerful words.
Get your shit
Horatio
together.
Gould. I reckon if you're below 12 or above 75, then it's not embarrassing. Anywhere in the middle it is
Yeah.
of it.
What about a 17-year-old?
R.I.P. the
cyclone.
rugby. R.I.P. the rugby player.
yeah.
The rugby player.
oh fuck yeah.
What if you're a disabled
Not
man?
ideal conversation to be having, but we're having it nonetheless. If you're disabled, obviously that's fine.
So disabled people are exempt from this.
They
embarrassment.
are, and I think
They
if
are.
we
And
go too
exempt
much
from a lot
into
of
the
stuff.
details of this theory, it's not going to come across well
Yeah.
for us.
But there is a truth there. if we
It
kept
is.
thinking- It's embarrassing.
No one wants to go via Storm Norris in the
if you're
UK,
blown
on
around.
the west
It
coast
was
of
like-
England.
It was like that awful one, and this is where we're bad people. But you got to appreciate that we're being honest.
Yeah.
is when that guy got shook to death on the plane.
What?
Do you remember when the guy got?
Oh,
died
the
from
turbulence. Tough way to go.
Tough way to go.
Tough way to go.
It's,
How
I
old
know
was
it's
he?
obviously
No
horrible.
one
but
wants
it is
that.
embarrassing to die from turbulence.
How old was the? How old was?
How old was he or she?
He was quite old, to be fair.
Was he
But
above
was shook to
75?
death. He was like, I think it was like 70, 75.
That feels a bit young.
It's a hard cut off. If you're 74 in 364 days, I think still.
Yeah.
There is a cut off. There's a cut off. And it's tough. And good luck to everyone. Stay inside.
Yeah.
What is the least embarrassing natural death to have?
Just like
A volcano?
yeah, I was going to go like cancer, but I
Is that a
suppose.
natural death?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
can-
thought you were talking about like a weather
But
warning.
let's. Yeah.
I more mean short of getting murdered. How could you like? What is the least
Well,
embarrassing?
it's more
Let's
most
discount
notable.
any disease because they're all fine, right? There's no embarrassing. Don't say gout.
Well, yeah, I
Well,
guess gout is
gout-
quite. Yeah,
gout
dying
isn't-
from gout's
Can
quite
you?
embarrassing.
I don't know if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's not do diseases. We'll do general.
Yeah.
General deaths. Volcano's cool.
Walking
Yeah, it
into
depends
a,
what you're doing up there.
Died
though.
in a volcano.
Yeah.
Great. One,
But
you either live close enough to one that, I'll take the fucking risk, let's go. Or you're like exploring a volcano and it erupts.
Yeah.
Because there's risk associated. There's like cataclysmic, godlike risk with
Yeah.
volcano. A gust of wind doesn't quite have the same power.
No. Tornado, we're getting there, but still, wind is still embarrassing to die from.
Is that
Kind of
like
in
a
all
twister?
cases. Yeah.
I think a twister's quite embarrassing
Yeah,
because you
'cause
just
it's
imagine going up and then spat out at another side.
Yeah, dying from wind is embarrassing.
I think it's just, oh.
And it's not saying it's not sad. We're
It's
just saying
obviously a
embarrassing.
tragedy, but it isn't how I want to go. And if I die in a tornado or a storm, you can say that it was embarrassing for me. That'll be my last
being
thought.
on a ship in a storm, I think there's a lot of dignity there.
Unless it's a cruise.
100%. I would hate to go
Because
on a cruise.
you'll basically be buried at sea with everyone who goes on cruises, which aren't the best demographic.
And also, like, maybe you don't want people to know you go on a cruise. It's not embarrassing
That's
going
how
on a
your
cruise.
family found out you go on a cruise. You've been on a cruise.
That's how everyone finds out you went on a
Yeah,
cruise.
because you've done
Everyone knows because you died on it.
Have you
Do
heard of
know
that cruise that there's people that have been on a cruise ship for like a year and it still hasn't left Ireland? Can you type that in? I'm sad we haven't covered
Oh,
this.
dying on a cruise. Yeah, that might be one of the most
That might
embarrassing.
be, yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah. Other natural, an earthquake. That's kind of. I think when it has like godlike connotations, you want to go in a flurry, don't you? You don't in a big event, not Storm Norris.
No. Earthquake. If a building collapses on you, that's not embarrassing at all. You maintain all your dignity.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know if this has ever happened, but in my head, if you die in an earthquake in a field,
Yeah.
that's embarrassing.
Because how have you died?
Have you been? It's being shook to death.
You can't be shook
Well,
to
the
death.
guy on the plane got shook to death.
Turbulence is more shaky than an earthquake.
Well, it depends what the Richter scale of the earthquake is. You can have a shaky.
But does it actually go like that?
Famously, it does.
I guess so.
That's all it does.
But
that's
it's like
that's a special move.
Yeah, I don't think even with a really high Richter scale, you could die from just in a field from an earthquake for some reason. Any scientists?
Yeah, I've
message
never
him.
seen it. And it's never been reported.
Yeah.
But that
There's
would
a
be
gap.
embarrassing.
So that's not at all what the story is.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. You just
he's slow normally, and now he's at 10%.
Now he's slow and just got a completely different story.
What I didn't like about that, fine, it's a hard thing to pull up. But I didn't like the way you leant back.
I leant back and
That annoyed me.
There you go, lads. Get a whiff of that.
A
Do what you
pointless
can.
article. and then just-
Completely different. Man living on a cruise ship reveals how much it costs him for a year. Doesn't matter. Type in cruise ship Ireland. Just do that.
What about getting eaten quickly? Is getting eaten embarrassing?
Interesting.
I think it's not embarrassing because it's such a horrible way to go. Imagine getting
Well,
killed.
like being eaten by a bear. Yeah.
One of the worst
Yeah.
ways to go. I was watching the James Bond where someone gets eaten by a Komodo dragon. Komodo dragon?
Which
Komodo?
one was that?
It's very brief.
So
Not the film.
which Bond?
Skyfall.
Brosnan. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it gets eaten, and it's just like getting dragged into their lair and then just getting chewed on because they're not going to kill you
They
straight
don't
away.
have teeth, Komodo dragons.
How is he?
They have poisons. Like they just have like poison gums.
Well, that's an awful way to go then.
Yeah.
3 months into their global cruise, they've not left Belfast. Scroll down. I'll just read some of it out, please. Passengers on a round-the-world cruise have been left stranded in Belfast for 3 months after their voyage was beset by delays.
Yep.
Villa View Residencies, Odyssey, arrived at Queen's Island in the Northern Ireland capital to be outfitted before it was scheduled to leave on the 30th of May for the first leg of 3 years. 3 years! But the ship is still not left thanks to problems with the rudders and gearbox. I'd argue that's pretty basic boat stuff to have down. So they've just been living on a boat. They're going on a 3-year cruise around the world. And I think there was almost like a ticker for this because I think they left maybe 2 months later.
And do you think that deserves a ticker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cruise ship still not left. Every hour. Those stranded in Belfast still there.
But I guess it's like when you're waiting on the train and it's like, sorry for the delays, there's been some issues. But
That's an hour, in fairness, that's an hour journey. So a 10-minute delay is basically like 3 months for a 3-year
Yeah,
cruise.
I guess so. But I guess having the announcement, sorry, we've had a couple of delays.
Yeah.
And 3 months later.
3 months. Well, in honesty, I guess you obviously stop off and see around, you see the sights, but fundamentally you're there for the boat, aren't you? So you can still live on, I'm sure they're still doing the club music and
It sort of points out why a cruise is embarrassing.
because you don't want to leave the boat. What? Don't make me leave the boat. You've arrived in some of those beautiful countries. What? We've got to get off the boat. And I bet loads of people don't get off the fucking boat. Well, we've got everything we need here.
It's sort of, for some reason it feels like, when they used to have TVs on the back head seat of a car.
Yes.
And the kids in the back watching it. That's what a cruise is.
Yeah. Well, that's more fair because you're going down like the M25.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
But then at the end of the day, you are just seeing.
But you're going through the Grand Canyon in this one.
Oh, makes sense. Brilliant. You got me again. 200 people per year die on cruise ships.
They're ancient and they're 3 years long.
I think it's more that the average age is above 60.
Yeah.
So I don't think they don't die. There's not many cruise ship sinky poos, but they'll die from old age on a cruise ship.
I think dying on holiday is embarrassing.
I think my grandma got married on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's not embarrassing. I don't
Well,
think
is
that's
she still
embarrassing.
with the man, or is
No,
it?
he's dead.
Or did he die on the cruise ship?
Maybe. No, I don't think he did. He didn't die on the cruise ship.
11% of the deaths are crew members. So maybe they're just,
Oh, that's a shame.
yeah.
89% of passengers. So it's actually quite a misleading statistic you've given in a way. I know it's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think dying on holiday is embarrassing.
11%. That's a lot of.
22 of them are crew members.
Oh, that's not crazy then.
You can die.
I get problems happen at sea. You know,
You can die traveling, and that's all right.
that's fine. You're
But,
seeing the world.
but dying on holiday is embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
And
If you
holiday
die,
traveling is a line that some people sometimes blur too much, and sometimes it's
Absolutely.
like you're on holiday, you're not traveling.
if you die in a villa in Lanzarote, embarrassing.
Yeah.
If you die in a hostel in Vietnam, fine.
there's something there, yeah.
Well, it's like because you're seeing the world. If
It's about
holiday,
yeah.
I'm going there to relax, and I've died. I was there to chill
Or like,
out.
yeah, dying on like an all-inclusive resort. It's just
With a pina colada in your hand, you're trying to get away from it all, and everything falls on top of you.
it's just worst holiday ever.
It
Like,
is.
That's a terrible holiday.
I do think dying on a cruise ship is the worst way to go because also like the logistics of it, they've got to like find the nearest land because
Yeah.
there's a dead body on there,
Yeah.
which you've inconvenienced the other 300 passengers just to get your body
you're
off the cruise,
imagining that
and
they-
you've
they
ruined
have-
the cruise for them.
Well, I think it,
They
Yeah.
don't care, do they?
Yeah, I don't think they
I think I'd get over
I mean,
it.
it's the old people. I'm imagining more cruise ship caught in a storm, everyone dies.
Yeah, that's a bad way. Yeah, 300 dead at sea.
Yeah.
Like being in a hot tub whilst
On
it's
the
sinking.
Impractical Jokers cruise tour. So I was in the sauna today before I came here. There's a new sauna attached to the rock climbing wall in Mile End Park, which I guess I don't know. I've never been in saunas where there's this many young people, right?
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a neutral thing.
No, it's kind of like, it feels like it's unbelievably sociable.
I don't want to talk to people in the sauna.
And I did talk about this on the podcast maybe like a year ago about how I wanted a Greco-Roman bath culture
Yeah, it was quite recently, I think.
where men could discuss, business ideas about encourage stoicism and acts of valor while also being in a state of undress in a warm bath.
Naked networking.
Yeah. And I got it, right? Like I'm speaking to a lot of men about, sleep hygiene and stuff.
Never meet your heroes.
You know what? I don't like it.
Yeah.
I thought I'd like it more than I did.
I don't want to talk to people in the sauna.
But it's so fucking chatty. Because what's happened is culturally, our generation is much healthier than the generation before.
Yeah.
Or at least,
In some ways.
every statistic is saying that we're drinking less, we're going out less, we're shagging less. There's a massive health kick. And I realised that it's become like
The way that you put we're shagging less in with there, like that's like a good thing.
Brilliant.
Stop banging. Stop having sex.
But like, I realised that the smoking area now is the sauna. That's what's happening.
Right.
Because it's the same vibe.
Yeah.
And I'm sat in there and it's
It
these
is.
guys who would be like, there's a white guy with dreadlocks, right?
Yeah.
With the tightest pants, so much confidence,
See knob?
unbelievable body.
See knob? See some knob?
No, it's not a
Yeah,
knob.
but
It's not
like
a knob
you saw enough of the knob.
I mean,
outline of knob?
He had a full outline.
Yeah.
He had as much as he could get away without it being illegal.
Yeah, gotcha. So you saw
He's
knob,
playing within the rules, but he's bending them.
Yeah, literally. Bending,
Well, 'cause
because of his knobs, bending the fabric of the
and
pants.
we came in and he was just talking, because I went with BB, and he was he was talking about he had an incredible experience in a haram in Morocco, which is like a Moroccan bath.
Well, I feel like that kind of guy's going to the sauna in order to tell those stories.
And he says it made me nostalgic for when I was a baby in the womb. And I'm sitting there and it's like, sauna, I'm not going to go that often, but to be honest, what's best about the sauna is that you unplug, you're not on your phone. It's kind of like an hour where you really don't do anything.
It's an aggressive hard detox.
Yeah, and you need that. But instead, I'm listening to the worst podcast of all time. This guy.
What, you have Boys Gone Wild on in there?
Andrew, have some more self-belief.
Whoops.
Right?
Weird shit. Just stop
Come on,
listening.
we're rubbish.
Stop listening to us. I don't like this anymore. Yeah, that sounds absolutely dreadful.
And they're just all chatting. And because it's connected to the rock climbing gym. So they're rock climbers, which is a type of white guy which is quite I don't know how to explain it. I haven't worked it out yet.
Loosely
They're
adventurous,
live.
but not too
They're
adventurous.
physically live.
Like,
So they're not built big.
Yeah. But they're strong.
They're built like Jesus. Jesus was a rock climber.
Yes.
Right? He's got
yeah.
that physique.
Yeah.
And they're kind of confident in quite like an odd way.
Yeah.
They look like they smell.
Mm.
But what was interesting, so one of these guys was trying to get me to do rock climbing, and he was telling me to unlock my inner child. Right? All this is completely what they were saying to me.
It's not good.
But then you speak to them, they're all working recruitment or are coders. And part of me's like, I don't need to unlock my inner child, lad.
Yeah.
I need to unlock my inner adult. I need to invest in a pension. Like I don't need... Like for them, I think it's just like breaking out the monotony of their job that they can like sort of pretend that they're these kind of, I don't know, spiritual Sherpas who work in recruitment.
Babies climbing up a wall.
Or like, just unlock, really get in touch. I'm like, Dad, I don't need any more of that.
Right.
I call people autistic on a pod. Like I don't need...
That's true.
That's
true.
I find there's a similar in terms of like there's a trend between rock climbers, cyclists, and slackliners.
Go on.
Where there's similar level of cuntiness, and confidence.
Yeah.
But it's quite abrasive.
Well, it's more. I think it stems from cycling, but it's more how out of hand can the cycling get, right? And like I will reference it.
You just
constantly the
because you're getting on a line bike a few times now.
Well, I think it all stems from cycling, and it's more like people need a bigger kick. Cycling's not enough. And they need to keep white guying it up a bit. And it's... So, for example, the furthest reach of that is the guys who saved the children from the Thai cave, right?
Yes.
That's as far as cycling's ever got out of that. Do you know, it's a bunch of white guys with the screw loose looking for something to do on a weekend. Yeah. And they've ended up underwater caving. That's when it's gone too far, Because
they were hobbyists, really.
I bet they started cycling, and it's like it wasn't enough. You got to keep...
Now we have to rescue children from caves. Yeah. It is, you are right. Well, I guess that's more of an adrenaline hit, but there is the same, in cycling. I guess
but I do think slacklining might be...
I think it's the final boss of all of them, slacklining.
Yeah.
Because I don't like...
Well,
the type of
slacklining,
person,
I think,
as much as... It's a bit harem pants, isn't it?
But as much as scuba diving in caves is a natural progression from cycling, I think slacklining is a natural progression from the frisbee.
Okay, yeah.
It's always
hacky sack.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe it's on a different tree.
It's on a different branch of the same tree.
Because it's not about like adrenaline in the same way.
It's about
moderate
fun.
It's like
in an outdoor space.
It's kind of like being relaxed. It's kind of like, how can I best utilize a park?
Yeah, how can I have some more fun in a park? I guess I could suspend a line a meter up from a tree and then try and go across it a few times.
Like, cool, man, that's wicked.
It's all very chilled out and fun. They're not really rock climbers.
Because
there's a seriousness. Exactly. Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
That's about pain and progression.
Have you rock climbed?
No, I fear chalk, so I can't.
All right, I'm done with asking.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there.
We've really got to pick the ones we go into, but I'm going to...
Charlie's always ready with fucking... It's never... It doesn't even stutter. It's like I was going to say
that the link between slacklining, cycling, and the other one was a good take for Charlie. It was like a podcast take, and then the chalk.
Like, I just can't have it on my hands. So
do you have to have chalk?
Yeah, it's a real prerequisite to climbing.
Pretty much.
Yeah. You can have wet chalk.
Not
cocky about it.
There is a wet...
pretty much.
There is a wet equivalent.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, sometimes.
Do you know what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, do you? Have you rock climbed?
I've watched the Olympics.
Yeah, but that's the Olympics.
Yeah,
if I'm casually rock climbing.
And I've watched free solo. They've got chalk.
Yeah, but
all of them
this
have got
is
a
the
chalk
top
pouch.
end.
Yeah, then you gotta have chalk. Yeah. For your average, if me and you went to a rock climbing centre to have a go at rock climbing, we're not gonna need chalk.
That's what I was saying.
That's why I said pretty much. If you're talking to rock climbers, you need chalk.
Yeah, but you said pretty much with too lower pitch.
Right.
Implying...
pretty much. There you go. Happy? Good? Pretty much. You wouldn't believe me. You wouldn't believe me.
Like, pretty much. It's just kind of...
You're just doing my voice now.
Yeah, but you're an idiot, so I'm going to say pretty much.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah. So higher pitch next time.
Yeah, pretty much, yes.
I feel that...
Happy?
I feel that... It's the same sort of fear as... It's basically like needles on a blackboard or fingers on a blackboard.
Yeah.
I have that with mud, chalk.
What, mud on the blackboard?
Mud on my hands. Dried mud on my hands, but mainly chalk on my hands means that I'm excluded from rock climbing. It seems... I've been rock climbing.
It's non-negotiable.
It's an absolute non-negotiable. Mm-hmm. It's like
because you look like you could easily be into rock climbing.
I know.
Easy.
You really. I mean, you're a guy who you're a guy who would piss me off in a sauna. Actually, that's what you look like. You look like a guy who wouldn't shut up in a sauna.
Yeah,
you'd piss me off.
If I watched a sauna and I saw a guy like you, I'm like, fucking hell, this could be a long 40 minutes.
Mouth. Well, do you think? What do you?
I take chalk
last night. Fear of chalk.
Do you I avoid the sauna. There's another one in Hackney Wick. Which is similar sort of sauna.
Well, you've been to every sauna in East London.
Yeah, but I picked the one that's the least cunty and the most pure. We're in it for the sauna.
Yeah, it's the one with the Russian people.
Russian spa. Yeah, men whipping themselves with leaves.
Yeah, that's
silence. everyone's naked. I've never been naked there, but I'm thinking about
Yeah.
it.
How much have you been thinking about it?
Quite a lot. There was one. I've been on my own twice, and the first time I went on my own, there was this guy that massaged me, and I was like, I don't think he's hitting on me.
Did he work
I can't
there?
be sure. No, he was a guest. I can't be sure if he's hitting on me. And
What?
then he like massaged me. And
What?
then,
Why is it
Did
guest
you
massaging
did he say, "Can I massage
Yeah,
you"?
and I was like,
Had you had a conversation before?
Yeah,
that?
a little bit.
Was his knob out?
No, he had a little loin cloth, like a sort of
Right.
a kind of rag.
Yeah.
And I had pants on, but then he kind of got quite into my thighs. And I was thinking maybe this is just how they do it. And then at the end, he was like, we should go for a drink in the park.
Well, obviously he's hitting.
And I
you.
tried
Of
to,
course,
like-
it's the park.
I tried to de-sex the vibes, but I just kept calling him brother.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
not
brother,
bad.
that'd
Not
be
a bad
nice.
idea.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Make
And
it
I think
spiritual.
I think it worked.
Yeah. Well, you're not having sex with him, so I guess it worked, didn't it?
But I think he got the message, but it was a polite no.
Yeah.
And he gave me a lovely massage.
Well,
But
that
everyone's
sounds
massaging themselves.
worse.
No, it's
You know,
not.
because listening to these guys, these
I would prefer
boring
to talk
cunts
about
talk-
sexual
climbing.
assault.
Yeah, they'd be like sexual assault.
They'd be touched up by a
quite an
man.
aggressive homosexual. Yeah, I'm going to stick with my sauna actually.
Someone was
Charlie.
doing. I took my friend there the
Depends
other
how
day.
good the massage was.
Yeah.
I took my friend there the other day, and someone was doing. And this is a bad advert for the sauna, but it's not normally like this. Someone
Yeah.
was doing crack in the changing room.
Oh, yeah.
and then like this
Crack in the sauna,
crack in the changing room, and then like
and then went into the. Was he on his way out or way
we go
in?
on his way in.
Mad. I
Sauna
guess.
crack.
I guess.
Yeah, what's madder? On the way out or the way in?
On the way in.
Because on the way out in the
They're
changing room.
both equally mad, and I'll tell you why. On the way in, because saunas are, spas are relaxing places. So why? And they're kind of a detox thing.
Yeah, it's a wholesome.
But then I can imagine being in a sauna or something on crack is probably pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's also mad, but it's mad to do it on the way out. But but it's kind of like, right, I've done my detox, back on the crack.
Yeah, it implies that it's such a shot. You're going straight back into bad habits so quickly.
Yeah, well, I've done that. Might as
Well,
well
I guess
do
like
this.
some people would roll a fag on the way out. I guess
Yeah,
that if you're taking crack that
But it's a
much,
bit of a
then
jump to hit the pipe, and then like
Yeah, it depends on your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Some people doing crack isn't that big a
And
jump.
we
he
don't
looked
judge.
troubled.
We know.
Whatever you guys are into.
Yeah.
But I would-
Cracking a steam.
I do insist that at some point we should go to that sauna.
Well, I think we should have a work meeting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
done.
think we should have a.
You guys will
do-
be
Do you
charmed
think
by
we
it.
should have like a quarterly review of Charlie in the sauna?
Yeah.
Where I
feel comfortable.
we can sit on the same bench and we'll have the power
clothed.
over.
Really
I'm
concerned
naked.
about
You
your
guys are fully
performance.
clothed.
We'll have the power over the water on the rocks just to really add to the atmosphere.
We just don't think you're doing enough work.
Yeah.
We just-
You got to get
No,
better.
I can change.
Your
I can change.
Googling's just got to improve.
Oh yeah, here's another thing I thought is so the guy with the dreadlocks
Yeah.
on the rocks, right? So he was the one pouring the water on the
Of
rocks.
course
Yeah,
he
of
was.
Now I feel that guy 10 years ago is the guy hogging the orcs and afters. It's the same sort of vibe.
Yeah.
It feels like he's sort of
And
like
people don't want him on the orcs. Yeah, it's not. He doesn't have the best music. People aren't going, "Can you do the music, mate?" He is going, "I've got a song."
But there's just something about that, just like no, don't like just
Yeah, and then it's like
controlling the room.
reggae donk or something.
No, you're
Yeah.
gonna actually love this. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we don't. We don't love this. It's not interesting. Please leave me alone. Yeah, I can't think of anything worse than having a conversation in the sauna.
But you should come to the sauna though.
I will come to the sauna. I
It's
thought
good.
it was a good idea. I am down for the sauna.
Yeah.
I don't like to be in there for too long. How long are you in there for?
Well, you do 10 minutes, then cold plunge, then 10 minutes. So you're
that's it?
constantly out. No.
For however long you fancy.
Proper sessions are an hour.
Yeah, I'm not
but you
for
can
that.
do off-peak 45
Proper
minutes.
cold plunge? Is it nice
Yes.
and cold?
It's very cold.
Great.
It's nasty and cold, I'd say. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
say
what you
nice
want.
and cold.
That's what you want.
That's what you want, but I don't like it.
I like it.
Are you good with cold water?
Yeah, leave me alone. Fuck you.
No,
yes,
I'm
I
actually
am.
not. I'm bad with cold water.
I haven't not, like, this is the most embarrassing brag.
Go on.
I haven't not turned the water cold in the shower at the end of my shower. I've done it for every shower for like a year and a half.
Really?
Never. I have not once got out of the shower with warm water for a year and a half. And there are times where I've wanted to do it, but I don't want to break the streak.
So you're on a real...
It's pointless. This streak is
that,
self-imposed.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
artificial. I've created it. But I
How
don't
long
want
do you
to
do it
break
at the
yeah.
end? How
Pardon?
long? How long is your
Minimum a minute.
really?
Yeah.
It might be my most cowardly aspect. Of all my cowardice, I think
Yeah.
my true cowardice of cold water is the most embarrassing one.
Yeah.
Like, I think the least BB's ever found me attractive is seeing me go into like, the city. And then, like, so in my mum's side of the family, obviously, kind of quite like stoic English. They
Obviously.
love. Like my uncle, genuinely, if the water's over 25 degrees, he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
He's like, this is like a bath.
It's
a
not
holiday.
refreshing.
It has to be freezing. So
Yeah.
he's swimming in the Sussex Sea in November.
Yeah.
So they run in
Yeah.
and they can't believe it. The dog's going as well. They're just, and
Yeah.
I'm just,
Well,
my feet on the rocks. Yeah, it's one
I
of those
think
things.
it's a routine thing, and it's getting used to it thing. Like now,
I've been
I now
forced
enjoy.
a lot. I got a cold water family. Like I'm not a stranger to it.
But if you do it, I do see the benefits. It does wake you the tits up.
Yeah.
Also, it helps with stomach problems. If I'm finding it hard to digest a particularly doughy pizza, get in that cold shower, you burp it out. I've stunned you all. I've stunned you into silence.
Today I woke up feeling awful, and the best I felt was the cold shower.
If I'm feeling shit,
You have
like
to do it.
hungover, and I've got something to do, I'll do a cold bath, an ice bath.
Yeah, I haven't done that.
shit.
What? Just to run a cold bath?
Yeah, and then chuck ice in it.
That's
Get in there
insane.
for 3 minutes.
What,
You're fucking
from
laughing.
an ice tray?
No, you get a big bag of ice.
You're buying a big bag of ice.
I'm buying a big bag of ice. When I met everyone at work and I knew I was going to be hungover and had to go into work the next day, I bought 2 bags of ice the day before. Jumped up straight
That's
in
mad.
there, felt fine.
Oh,
Not fine,
you'd love this sauna because you
Yeah.
get chatting to these guys, then you might be able to
but
hold
I
your
don't
own.
want to talk about it. I know I am, but I don't want to talk about it with other people.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
talk
true.
about it
It
with
should be a personal
friends,
thing.
but I don't because then everyone gets too gassed about it.
The worst place to need a poo is the sauna.
Right.
I was at a folk festival in Wales, and I got like bladdered.
A phone festival,
Folk
Samsung Galaxy.
folk festival, and they had a naked sauna, and I went in there like quite
So you were
quite
naked.
battered. I think I was naked. Yeah, everyone was naked. But you needing a poo in there.
You've said naked so many times.
Everyone was naked, and I desperately needed a poo, so I ran out and like went behind this tree.
Hilarious to think of Charlie running out of a sauna naked, holding his bum. Go on.
And then I went behind this tree and then washed my kind of body in the Welsh stream, and then got back in the sauna. But like,
You
really,
went behind. Did you poo behind a tree?
Yeah.
Yeah, you left that bit.
Yeah,
out
that's
of
the story. The story is that.
You can't say I went behind a tree and then I went to a bath.
That's the
Where did
story.
you?
Well,
I
Everyone's
was trying
thinking,
to,
where
I'm
did you
trying to keep
shit?
it polite, you know. It's like,
Well, don't
No,
bring
you're
up
not.
I needed a poo in a sauna then. Do the story. Yeah. Speaking of poo,
Go on. Oh yeah. Sorry.
so when the
Which
segue's there,
there's
segue's
a chance
there.
we've talked about this in the podcast, but I don't think we have.
I don't think we have.
Basically, for a bit of context, this is a TikTok I sent to Andrew a while ago. My middle names you don't already know. Horatio's already a tough sell. I got 2 middle names. One of them is Edward.
We're doing
It's
okay.
not bad.
I guess the second
The
one will
second
be,
one is Beresford. And so that's obviously ridiculous seeing as due to my first name. But I think the story of it kind of says more about my dad than anything. My dad decided to give me the middle name Beresford because it was on Beresford Street that our like Italian immigrant family first set up a market stall. And he wanted me to stay in touch with my working class roots, right? Now, Beresford Street is named after Lord Beresford, who was like a slave-owning admiral.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
I think in his
So what was your
attempt
dad-
to
what was your
sort of
dad
keep
trying
me
to communicate?
grounded, he didn't know what Beresford was named after.
Yeah.
He was just thinking about that street in Woolwich, right?
Yeah.
But instead, that's not how it comes across. It's just
It comes across as slave-owning merchant. Is how it comes across immediately.
now someone who's related to this man who is not the Beresford that the street's named after, and therefore I'm named after, but it's his grandson, I think.
You've slightly lost me, but it's all there.
He's part of the Beresford
content's
family.
there.
So
Yeah.
the fact that his family's Beresford
right.
is why I had this middle name.
Yeah, gotcha.
But let's play it.
There was a man born in the late 18th century whose middle name was Pooh. His real middle name, it wasn't an insult or a nickname or a misspelling of a name. His middle name was actually Pooh. You can see it at the bottom of the page, the picture rather. There. That was his name. He was an admiral in the Navy. And he
Strong naval
was
family.
a baron. He was quite rich. He had like 8 kids, and there's evidence in his father's family tree for this spelling of the name, like that, like a French version. And his sons eventually went on to use that name again. But John's middle name was actually Pooh, spelled P-O-O. And there's a monument to him in Beedale in North Yorkshire, and it also says Pooh on it. So there he is. That is John
Right,
Poo
burning
Beresford.
question, Charlie. Could you look up, right, how long has poo been, like, how long has excrement been known as poo for?
Yeah.
Was that an issue when he was around? It's the first question, because that changes the whole conversation.
I
The
hate
word
my middle
poo
name.
has been used since at least 1440.
Yeah.
When can we just double check?
It was
when?
like 1600s, 1700s.
Then it's around.
Yeah.
Then what? Why? So his parents have named him.
I guess there's probably like a level of like sophistication with like a sort of French.
Sorry, it's the word's poop. I thought that was an Americanism.
What?
Does that not interest you? The word poop has been around since 1440, whereas I thought it was originally poo, and then the Americans made it poop. Anyway,
it was a derivative of poop. So John Poo Beresford. it's funny.
It's funny.
It's funnier. I mean, the middle name might be funnier because it comes out of rhythmically. It comes out of nowhere.
John Poo Beresford.
Yeah.
John Poo. It was. It's just, you can't be doing that.
Yeah.
It's another one.
I guess it makes me feel bad about my middle name because that is a word. But then there's something linked to Beresford isn't just bad.
It's not, again, it is bad because it's like there's one worse than yours out there, but his second name is your middle name. It's not ideal, really.
John Poo Beresford.
So the only possible explanation for it is the French linkage. Like,
but he's aggressively spelled it poo.
What, they are these fucking Frenchies? Let's call it what it is, and it's fucking poo.
Let's call it a spade.
His name's Poo, and let's call him Poo. None of this French bollocks. His name's Poo. Like shit, you know? Like the shit you poo out. That's what he is. He's Poo. So I just don't understand how you can not realise that that's probably a bad idea.
I'll call him JP.
Hey, he's done a lot more than we have with his life, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's a Navy admiral.
Yeah.
He's got a statue.
Okay.
So, we're laughing at him.
But
nominal determinism, maybe Poo... made him who he is.
Getting bullied at school.
Yeah. Look, of course he got bullied at school.
Yeah.
Imagine if you found out
your
your
very rich naval family where all of his ancestors did the same job.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good name. I wouldn't do it to my kid, but it's different times, different ships for different captains.
You can be any middle name. You can call your son or daughter any middle name, can't you?
Yeah. There's no legal. Yeah.
There's no laws, and it feels like it's a bit more of a fruity.
Could I call my son the N-word?
What, first name?
First name.
Well, yeah, because I guess if not first name, is there a difference between what you do for first and then not middle?
If you're doing it, you're doing it. Make it the first name. Yeah, that's a good. I think, but that's because that's a hate crime, isn't it? But then if he's not black, my son,
well, he's mixed race.
Then I think it's a hate crime.
Was he?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you trap my logic here?
Yeah.
If he's white and he's the N-word, it's not a hate crime. But it is.
I think there's in this country we have hate crime laws. I reckon in America, because the free speech is a lot stronger there, I think you would be able to call your son the N-word. Officially, not just call about it like birth.
If we have any lawyers or judges listening, can you comment?
I don't make it sound like we're trying to find out if we could do it.
I'm not looking into this so I can plan my future. I'm just suggesting. I would like to know because have you got anything?
This might be great to have a lawyer. I would love to have wouldn't you love to have like a lawyer, like in a show when
it would be
when
great.
People just have or like your lawyer who's kind of your friend. Like that's often like a character trait.
I think you're describing a producer with the internet, really.
What? He's our lawyer.
Well, or just like he can look up anything.
No, but I mean, like you have a guy who, if you get into legal gripes, you're like,
let me talk to my lawyer.
Let me talk to my lawyer is powerful. Here's one for you.
Yeah.
If I have a son, can I
call her the N-word? Yeah, and he's like, I'm in court right now, mate. I'm trying a triple homicide. Did you find out anything, Chaz?
I found some banned names in the US.
Go on.
Interesting.
Roman numeral III, pronounced 3.
A Californian court said Thomas Boyd Ritchie III changing his name to simply the Third, i.e. 3 I's, would be confusing. You can't ban a name because it's confusing. That's not fair.
Well, yeah, the Elon Musk kid's called like X1 thing.
Yeah.
The
@ sign is banned?
Well, it says N-word underneath that, right?
Mystery N-word, yeah. I don't know what mystery means.
Well, it's brackets the N-word, I imagine is...
Which explicitly spelled out the racial slur on the grounds it constitutes fighting words. Well, that's a weird way of... That's probably them not wanting to say it's a hate speech because of freedom of speech.
1069.
Jesus Christ,
Now, what...
1069.
Now, I'd love
1069 Poo Beresford.
Yeah. 1069 is known as banned. Well, hold on. Look, with the N-word, I would like to find out who was the man trying to call his son the N-word. And most importantly, what race was he?
Yeah.
What's mystery?
Lee.
M-I-S. Lee versus Superior Court.
Lee, right.
Well, this is fantastic. This is great research. Holding that appellant, this is where we need our lawyer, had no constitutionally protected right to legally change his name to Mr. N-word. And because he retained the common law right to use that name, the state's refusal to officially sanction his name did not... That's fine. They said no.
What's his first name?
Did not.
I wanna know-
Oh, sorry, that is interesting. The state's refusal to officially sanction his name did not adversely affect his First Amendment right to freedom of speech.
Now, what I want to know is when.
I think that might be.
No, don't. Is it him?
We can't just pull up random people. there is.
Screenshot that because every single white guy in there looks like the kind of person I'm thinking.
It's true.
None of them. They're all different guys.
All different guys, and Charlie's just picked one at random and gone, that's probably him. I reckon that's him.
What I want to know more than what race is he almost is how did he look when the birth certificate's been signed? What are you going to call the child?
No, so-
now, did he do it confidently? Was it sheepish?
He was trying to change his own name.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, so it wasn't his son?
No, it wasn't his son.
Okay, well, I guess when you go to the name changing office, what?
Yeah. What
Is
he
it, was it defiant? Was it confident? Was he just kind of like, I don't know, trying to, if I do it confidently, they won't second guess me?
Surely he knows what he's getting into.
Yeah, he's not like nervous.
Can I please change my name to Mr. N-word, if that's fine, please? Well, I'd like to know more about that story.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can't, and nor should you be able to.
I got a gripe, sort of a gripe. I mean, this is more of a general thing, and I'm sure a lot of people agree with me, but I know Andrew doesn't. Before I went to the theatre with my family, went to a, I know you don't like this word, but it's the best way to describe it. Went to a trendy restaurant that my sister picked.
Trendy. Doesn't it make him sound like your dad?
And what's the word I can use instead of that? Because you know exactly what I mean.
Yeah, not in vogue, because that's weird.
Tell me
That's
one
odd.
that isn't humiliating to say. Cool.
Hip.
Hip is better.
Is it better?
Hip's better.
It's not. It's similar
Hip,
ballpark, though.
there's a splash of irony with
Yeah.
hip. Trendy is I passed my prime.
I
And
guess for me, I'm like trendy. There's more of an
Trendy
academic.
implies that you don't fit in where you're going.
Yeah, I guess so.
Very
But I guess
trendy.
it's more-
Trendy jeans.
Yeah, that's bad.
I
Yeah.
get that it works, but I think hip. I think there's just a splash of irony. Helps.
What about cool?
cool?
No, because I actually mean trendy for some.
Cool sounds like you're taking it too seriously. Anyway,
so it's small plates is my gripe, and I guess these kind of restaurants. When I say trendy, it's like something that's just trying to be what's cool now.
Yeah.
We don't know what will last, what won't, but it's just about being.
yeah, maybe fads almost.
And I do think the small plates and natural wine will be looked back on badly. I think
Don't lump natural wine in with this.
Well, do you like natural wine?
No, but I disagree with your
Yeah, but
gripe.
natural wine is rubbish, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And it's all a fad. And it's the guy comes up to you. They normally look like Charlie, but even more. They look like the guy in the sauna, right?
Just with a few more piercings.
yeah, and it's like they're so excited about what natural wine they're going to get you. They explain this story about it. Oh, it's brilliant. And then they see the color of your eyes, and they're like, "Well, and then what star sign are you? Well, you're going to absolutely love this one." They bring out a bottle of wine that is a color you've never seen before. Oh, this is absolutely brilliant. It'll be like
What
orange
color
or
have you
pink.
never seen before? Pink.
I've never seen it before. What the fuck is that?
Freaking out.
That's a new colour.
What the fuck? Yeah.
And it always tastes like absolute wine.
Yeah, it's kind of acidic, is it? I can't remember.
But then
I don't
we
know.
went in Paris, went to the natural wine bar that your girlfriend suggested. It's just like the
All
probably
right.
one of the best ones.
Don't point at me and say
loved
my
it.
girlfriend like that.
But
Look at that.
my girlfriend's thick, but she loved it. Yeah, and it's all dressing. It's all like
Yeah.
you wake up from the Matrix and like, oh, this is complete shit the whole time. It's everything
Yeah, yeah,
around
yeah.
it, and I think that does apply to small plates where.
Let me just, before
The
you do that, I
restaurants
agree
that
with
small
natural wine.
plates are in, I don't mind because it is just like a vibe, right?
Yeah.
But the process of small plates, I think, is such a con, right? Obviously, the big gripe most people have with it is you're paying so much for such a small portions, and it can often completely fucks up the way you're having a meal, and they're conning you at every stage. So there was a meal for 5 of us, and it's just like we're spending so much money. None of us were full, and then the way the orders come, like I ended up having hummus and flatbread to start, and we got another one, and then that arrived last. So I was having that for pudding as well, and it just completely. I was just like, I'm eating starters the whole time. Now, small plates. I don't like small plates. I think they're a con. I think they'll be looked back. I don't think history will treat them kindly. What I will say is why small plates exist. There is people who should have small plates, which is hot women, right? Hot women who want to be seen at nice restaurants, who want to kind of appropriate the idea of eating, but don't want to eat. That is what small plates are for. And I get it. And I'm like there, and these kind of like, it'll be like 4 skinny hot women. You should be eating small plates because you want to do all of this stuff, but you don't want to have a full meal.
Heard, disagree.
Okay, go on.
Disagree. Small plates are great. You don't. I'm always nicely full after them. I don't feel like I'm stodgy. I feel like I can go out, enjoy my life because of the breaks between eating. Slows down the process. You don't. With a big plate of food in front of you, you eat it too quickly. Your stomach doesn't catch up with your mind, and then you eat too much. You wolf it down. Small plates as well. Experience lots of different things on the menu, not just have one thing. I love trying all the different stuff.
Yeah, but I do that with other people's dishes as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's enough.
You can't go around spooning up people's soup.
Well, I would.
Depends on the company.
How many people are you going to small? What's the most number of people?
I could do it with 2.
2, I can maybe understand.
I could do it with 2. I can do it with 4.
4?
I could do it with 6.
Stressful as fuck.
Let's make it fucking 12 people I'd do small plates with. 13, no.
What are your thoughts on small plates?
And to finalise it, it makes dinner more sociable.
Bullshit.
It's absolutely true.
Absolute
because
rubbish.
you're tasting all the same things together and you can comment on that food together.
I'd do that anyway.
Well, you're a Philistine. You're a pig boy.
I'd do that anyway.
You want to oink up your food and then put it out in the toilet.
I'm a big sharer anyway with food. I want to try what you're having. And I find that's more sociable. When it's like the awkwardness of this tiny plate and it's like a mouthful each.
No, but you can discuss the flavours together.
Oh, that was rubbish. Should we?
Well, then go to a better restaurant. You can discuss and you're sharing that experience together.
Yeah.
A bit. I'm getting more pretentious with food as life goes on.
Yeah,
but I do appreciate that you're sharing the same meal from start to finish.
I think they fuck you out.
The money, it is definitely a good thing for the money. It has existed for longer than this. You know, tapas. It's a tapas
that's
style.
Different. Tapas.
But it's small plates.
They understand it.
But it's small plates.
Okay, fine. Tapas in London, to be fair, they will kill you with the prices.
Yeah.
But if you go to Spain, they get it. They understand that they're not going to fuck you with the prices, and you get enough bang for your buck. You know, you go to San Sebastian, you know, in Pinchos bars, any of that. Those small plates, that's unbelievable. But with these kind of like wanky kind of Soho House feeling vibes, these guys who are like, yeah, brilliant, yeah. And I'm just about to take like, I'm about to steal 250 quid from you. Brilliant. Those guys.
The money, agreed. It should be cheaper. As an experience, a dining culinary experience, I am so into it. I love small plate dinners. Look, I wouldn't want it for every meal. It's a special
It's like
one.
on New Year's Eve every night.
New Year's Eve every night. You go out, you share the meal with your friends and your loved ones. You go through the same experience. Yeah. You taste different things, not just starter and a main.
I feel that, I also wouldn't have it every night, but there is something classy about small plates. It's an occasion. And also, I'm now going to try and be less of a pig.
Yeah.
And therefore, I think small plates is maybe the answer.
You're going to be a hot girl.
Yeah, I'm going to be a hot girl.
And if you're trying to be less
from
of a
very
pig,
humble beginnings,
then I do agree with small plates. It's less piggish. I'll give you that. But I do think if you have 4 starters and 4 mains, that's a lot of spoonfuls that have been had.
4 starters and 4 mains?
Well, if you're with 4 people. Sorry.
Yeah, misleading.
There's 4 people there.
If you have 8 items on the menu, then you'll be full.
I always share my starters anyway, like they're small plates. I just think the kind of...
Yeah, I think that's the attitude.
And also the
but you don't
menu
have to
is
like
filled with... It's like a Mario 2-dimensional game with loads of potholes for you to fall into. That you can get completely cunted. You know,
cunted with what?
Well, you don't know what the sizes are going to be, and that's when the stress.
You
is coming
kind of
out.
do.
Like 17 quid, 2 mouthfuls.
That's what you got to ask about the size. You got to ask how many they recommend in general.
Yeah, well, I think for you
just don't like the people that work in the restaurants rather than the actual plates themselves, and that's a different gripe. No.
Question.
Yeah,
go on.
It's kind of unrelated.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Is there in outer space?
In outer space.
In outer space, are there colours? Because you were saying that you've never seen pink.
Yeah, you come to the right guys.
Is there a colour out there that we haven't? Are there more colours?
I'm glad you asked this, Charlie.
Than the ones we know.
100%.
Really?
Yeah, because the human eye can only contemplate
But what would that look like?
We can understand colours very differently to dogs. So we've got to presume that we can't
they see
see
black
all
and
the...
white.
Yeah, but that's their...
We know both those colours.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we know more than dogs, but to presume that we know everything is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because we're at one step of evolution. There's got to be there's many things in this world that we don't see because our senses are limited.
Yeah, and also, if something's that colour, it's not actually that colour, do you know what I mean?
It's just how we're interpreting.
Yeah.
Like, if you had rose-tinted glasses on your whole life,
yeah,
you'd see everything as rose tinted.
If you're colourblind, you see it.
So that is
It's
pure
probably a
perception.
more accessible example than wearing rose-tinted glasses for the entirety of your life. Yeah, no, there's so much shit that we can't see or hear or smell or like frequency, stuff that you can hear. There could be so much shit going on in a different frequency.
I'm just trying to.
Like, it's conceptually, it's hard.
It's very hard to imagine a colour.
I guess you're not meant to be able to conceptualize.
You can't.
That's
It's
kind of the whole
physically
point.
impossible. Yeah, but there's definitely different stuff that we.
But what would
have no
another
idea.
one look like?
We don't. Let's not do it.
But what
That's
would
what I'm
another
thinking. I don't. I
You can't. We can't do it.
Well, Charlie, you work on it.
I
Yeah.
think
Do you
maybe.
come up with a
Charlie,
new one?
go get on Microsoft Paint.
Should we see if we can make a new?
See if we can make a new. Well, let's try and make a colour
was the last
fundamentally unimaginable to humans.
What was the last colour they found?
Well, that's more about it being a rarer colour. Yeah.
Right, I've seen all these colours.
What colours are yet to be discovered? On that note,
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks.
I hope you have a good January and a good New
happy
Year's. And
2025.
we'll see you next week.
Quarter of a century, that's something, isn't it? Bye.